The last 2 days, I have been incredibly grumpy. Kids are getting on my nerves. I have no patience. And then I remembered I haven't even taken my supplements, my Amare supplements.
I needed Amare. We have products that focus on mental wellness. Who doesn't need mental wellness? Everybody, right?
Healing autoimmune disorders, it's possible. This is how I did it.
We help people with things like anxiety, stress, sleep, mood, energy, all the things.
Cheers to happy Jews.
So unhappy with how I felt, how I looked. We're not on here just trying to blow sunshine up your ass. They work.
It did not dissolve very well.
I'm feeling amazing. I checked my mood, my relief, my GBX, my gut ready, and my butt.
They got off of their depression pills.
I have so much more energy. I'm sleeping better. And things in the bedroom are amazing. Yeah.
Welcome, friends. Before we start on this deep dive, I want to put out a disclaimer. The video you're watching contains information I found on the internet and in video interviews, and I'm presenting it to the best of my understanding. My opinions will be sprinkled around heavily, and they'll probably make up most of this video, honestly, so before you take anything I say as fact, please research everything for yourself. I've listed my sources in the description box below so you can make up your mind for yourself. Also, don't go reaching out to the people mentioned in this video, don't harass or bully anyone, and be chill, okay? Cool. I've heard this company's name be thrown around a lot lately, mostly because with the dumpster fire Young Living has become lately, many of its reps are jumping ship to this company. It's called Amare Global, and they call themselves the mental wellness company. I'm sure you can see immediately why I wanted to talk about this company. From what I've seen, this company is dangerous in the way they prey on people with mental health issues. Products like these being sold by an MLM is a recipe for disaster, and we see these kinds of products being marketed as a treatment on the same level as prescription antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications, when they simply are not even close, but we'll get into that a little bit later. First of all, if you've been pitched the business opportunity of Amare and you wanted to just do your research before you decided to sign up under your old acquaintance from high school that you haven't talked to for 5 years, then great job taking matters into your own hands and doing research instead of just blindly jumping into it. First of all, the most important thing that you must know about Amare is that it's an MLM. MLM stands for multi-level marketing, which are essentially pyramid schemes that are still operating because they use their product as a loophole to continue operating in such a predatory business structure. The YouTube channel you've stumbled upon here has so much content about MLMs and how shady and gross they are. If you want to learn more, I suggest taking a look around, but the most important thing you should know is that statistically speaking, a large majority of people who join multi-level marketing companies as a distributor will either lose money or break even if they're lucky. The only people who are making a living doing these kind of businesses are the top less than 1%, and the shady things they had to do to get to the top of the pyramid is usually what turns most regular people off. They got there by recruiting, misleading, and manipulating people into joining their team with promises of financial freedom, being able to be your own boss and make money from your phone. But truly, MLMs could not operate if a majority of the organization isn't losing. In order for one person to make it to the top of an MLM compensation plan, they have to build a team of thousands of unsuspecting people beneath them. If you're here for the business opportunity, I'm really going to insist here that you don't join Amare or any MLM. It's a pyramid scheme that's just slipping through the cracks in the FTC's guidelines. One thing I do want to mention is that Amare in particular actually has a legitimate affiliate program for influencers who don't want to build a team and just want to sell the product for commission. If that's the opportunity you came poking around about, I'm still going to suggest that you don't choose Amare simply because every sale, every purchase that is made with an MLM is keeping them running, and it's supportive of their predatory and shady business model. It's supporting the top 1% and putting all the rest of the organization into financial distress. I'm telling you, if you really want to sign up as an affiliate, you can do that with tons of other companies that aren't multi-level marketing companies. I promise you, Amare Amare is not your only option, and it's certainly not the most ethical option either. With that all being said, I usually like to start these deep dives by picking their website apart. With Amare in particular, their website is cluttered with a ton of stuff. They have a blog, news articles, press releases, resources, 4 different parts to their about section, a science section, and so much more. So I'm going to do my best to compile the things that I find to be important or significant. Now, according to BehindMLM.com, Amare was launched in 2016. And I was kind of shocked to hear this because I only recently learned of this company, and I had no idea it's been around for 6 freaking years already. I was wondering if maybe they started as a regular retail business and then they turned into an MLM, so I went to the Wayback Machine to see what the website says. The Wayback Machine goes all the way to 1999 with the domain Amare.com, and obviously this wasn't owned by Amare Global back then. It actually looks like no one did anything with it at all for nearly 20 years. At one point, if you went to Amare.com, it was more like a mare, like a horse. And it gives search results like, are you looking for horses? No. I'm looking for a mental wellness company that convinces people to stop taking their prescription meds. Thanks, though. Even though Amare Global was allegedly launched in 2016, the first snapshot taken of Amare.com, being owned by Amare Global, wasn't until 2017. So I'm pretty unsure of the very beginning stages of the development of this company, since they apparently launched in 2016 without even having a website. Maybe they were in a bidding war with the horse people for a year, I don't know. October 2017 is the first time a link appears on the Wayback Machine that says our community. Unfortunately, that link was not snapshotted by the Wayback Machine until June 2018. So this is the first instance I could find of their website having info about becoming a wellness partner. My guess is that they definitely were an MLM from the get-go. Their website just wasn't managed very well. In June 2018, snapshots finally gave me a page to look at. I was surprised to see that it appears that not much has changed in the past 4 years with Amare's compensation plan. Maybe their shipping rates are higher now. That wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know that for sure. We'll go over the compensation plan in detail later. Anyway, that's really all the interesting stuff I found on the Wayback Machine. Usually these old snapshots give an interesting look into how the company has changed and evolved over the years, as well as unearth some pretty gross and predatory stuff. I did not have that experience with this company though. They haven't changed much. They seem to have just added a ton more on top of it. I do want to mention that while I was in the middle of researching this video, their link to enroll and become a wellness partner was not working. How professional. I swear to God. I think these companies know when I'm researching them. This isn't the first time an MLM's website immediately stops working as soon as I start clicking around on it. That's a joke, but then again, maybe it's not. We'll never know. The word Amare is derived from the Latin word meaning to love. Amare Global adopted the name because, according to their website, you can't love others until you first love yourself. Blah, cliche. Their vision is as follows. Our vision at Amare is to lead the global mental wellness revolution by inspiring people to love and believe in themselves. We envision that they will live an extraordinary life and make a difference for others. No one needs to lead the global mental wellness revolution. We have very effective medications and therapy and stuff for that. Well-known practices like meditating, yoga, mindfulness in general. Like, no one needs to be leading a mental wellness revolution. When the website begs the question, what is mental wellness? They answer with, it's everything. This graphic also creates a link between your mental health and your financial wellness, which we should all know that they are 2 separate things with no consistent and substantial connection to each other. But of course, an MLM has to insert something about money to perk up those greedy little ears. Under the Our Platform section, they actually mention something I wholeheartedly agree with. It says, growing up, most of us were educated about ways to take care of our physical health, but very few were educated on how to take care of our mental health. Mental health issues can have such negative stigmas, and I realize that by being open about our mental health, we can reduce the stigma by making it less taboo, and then maybe people will be more mindful of their own mental health, and I think that's so important. I grew up in a family that basically said I didn't need medicine or therapy, I just needed Jesus, which, whatever, if Jesus helps you with your personal mental health journey, that's great. Just don't use the religion card as an excuse not to seek help when you need it. In my case, I developed trichotillomania at 11 years old, which is an impulse control disorder disorder that pretty much involves me pulling out my own hair. And I still suffer from it to this day, but as a kid, it was really hard because, you know, kids are mean. And I was afraid to tell my parents when I finally, at the age of, I think, 20, I decided to get on antidepressants. And those pills quite literally saved my life. Educating about and destigmatizing mental health is extremely important, and I wish I grew up in an environment that could have helped me sooner. So yes, I agree with the statement. The only part I disagree with is the way that they think they're doing that. Their idea of helping people achieve mental wellness is through their products and programs. We'll look at their products more in depth later, but as far as the programs go, they seem very generic and bland. They're just videos, dude. They're categorized by mindfulness, being like guided meditation videos, movement, which are videos of exercise routines, and they're trademarked the mental wellness diet. Long story short, eat well, exercise, and meditate. Wow, never heard those tips before, and you certainly can't find free videos and recipes of all those things all over the internet. That was a joke, and that was also sarcasm. You can watch one of each of the videos in each category, but then Amare's website says unlock all the mental wellness programs when you become an Amare member. Remember, you have to pay to become a brand partner. If you buy their products, you can unlock them too. Both of those options obviously involve spending money, and the videos they let you preview on the website are meh. The meditation video is a guided meditation where the lady's voice is very muffled, so you can't really concentrate on anything she's saying because your brain is working overtime to try to understand it, which is kind of the opposite of what you're supposed to do when you meditate.
The intention of this meditation on love is to have you feel just that, reconnected to the heart of Amare, who you truly are. Let's start by taking in 2 slow, deep breaths.
The movement video is a functional full body circuit workout, which I, as a lazy sack of skin myself, could never do. If you're not in good shape, this workout will exhaust you basically immediately. Also, I've had 2 full-term pregnancies and I'm 5'1" and 115 pounds soaking wet. Pregnancy destroyed my knees, so I can't really do squats and jumps without hurting myself. I can barely even walk upstairs without my knee popping out of place, dude. It's awful. They probably have something easier for beginners or modified workouts for people with bad knees, a bad back, flexibility limitations, etc., but they don't show any of that on the website. And you know what? Any workout you could ever want to do can be found on YouTube. There are so many free videos of well-rounded workouts of every kind, and you don't have to pay a damn cent. Finally, the mental wellness diet, TM, lets you preview a video of a lady talking about how much she loves cooking and spending time with her family while surrounded by Amare products. Yeah, no thank you. Again, there are tons of free and healthy recipes online, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Reddit, all over the place. I don't need Amare's half-assed programs that ultimately come at a hefty price. Their website also has a detailed explanation of why their logo looks the way it does, which is unnecessary. It takes up room. Who cares? So let's learn more about their founder and chairman, Hiep Tran, a first-generation American whose parents immigrated from Vietnam to America before he was born. His parents owned their own family restaurant, so he grew up around quote-unquote business owners, which we all know that joining an MLM doesn't make you a business owner, so this guy just created one instead. He majored in biology, but he says he started working as a customer sales rep, and within a couple years, quote-unquote, he says, he was running a payments company. The first job listed on his LinkedIn is the director of risk management at a company called TransFirst. His last name is Tran, so I wonder if this was his own company or if that was just a coincidence. Then he moved on to become the principal and co-founder of Meritus Payment Solutions, a PaySafe Group company. Then he started his own payment processing company, and in 2014, he sold it for over $200 million. Stayed on it as the CEO and left $60 million in as an investment. And then when he quit in 2016, he sold his stake for, get ready for this, $3.9 billion. And then 2 years later, he quit to do network marketing and eventually start Amare, a mental wellness company. It's beyond my understanding how one can go from running a payment processing company to an MLM that makes people think they're mental health professionals. I mean, the MLM part makes sense. In my opinion, the world's greediest business owners choose the MLM business structure because it's the quickest and easiest way to make a ton of money for themselves while not having to shell out much to their distributors. They're definitely is money to be made in multi-level marketing for its CEO and its owners. It's real CEO and owners, not just the boss babe on Instagram that says she's the CEO and owner of her own business when she's really just an MLM rep. I like to look at MLMs essentially as pump and dump schemes. There are obviously a few that everyone knows of that have been around for a long time, but for the most part, MLMs gain a lot of traction really quick and then it starts fizzling out, and then the owner will either close the business or sell it to a new person and run off with millions of dollars. When this happens, it leaves the company's sales force high and dry. Some people end up quitting their 9-to-5s because the company has replaced that income for them, only to have it torn out from underneath them overnight. So, of course, this is only true for the top 1% of MLMs. Everyone else generally can't quit and support themselves with the money they make from being in an MLM. That really doesn't make it any more messed up, though. Now, I know we like to call the top income earners in MLMs scammers, which they are, but they're scammers with families and children and mortgages and loans. And now they suddenly can't pay for those things because they fell for a pump and dump scheme. Anyway, so Hiep says at one point he did dabble in network marketing as a door-to-door salesman of merchant services. He's seen in this video describing his early MLM experience. Check this out.
I saw what was possible. I saw other people doing really well in marketing and network marketing and selling. And so I decided to try it myself as well. I left my corporate job and went into the field and sold door-to-door merchant services. And it's very similar to what we're doing here at Amare. And so, yeah, that's how I built my career. I started selling and I never knew how to sell. And, you know, I got my first commission check of $30 and I was so excited. Residual income is the true American dream. That's how you can build your wealth and I'll call it your financial freedom. My residual eventually grew to about $1 million a month over many years. And so, you know, that's what was given to me. And that's how I kind of earned my freedom.
Anyway, clearly this guy has done extremely well for himself. He's a freaking billionaire, so why not start up a little MLM business and make more money by, in my opinion, essentially scamming people? See, remember what I said about greedy people choosing the MLM business structure? That's where my mind goes on this matter. Like, I don't know, retire, dude. You have so much money you don't know what to do with. There are a few interviews where Hiep addresses this, and he always boasts about how he has enough money. He doesn't have to work another day in his life, but he just wants to help people and totally doesn't care about the money at all. That's directly contradicted by the fact that he started his company as an MLM, in my opinion. You want to help people with supplements and programs? Cool. You can do that as a retail company. And if your products are as great as you say they are, they'll sell like hotcakes, right? See, that's the thing about MLMs. 9 times out of 10, they have a mediocre product that probably wouldn't sell very well. But if you adopt the MLM business model, not only do you not have to pay for advertising because your reps basically do that for you for free, they are the ones creating false hype around your company. After all, they're not billionaires. They're all in it for the money. I don't care what anyone says. Every MLM distributor joins because of the very small possibility of financial freedom, which is a huge part of every MLM selling point. If they know that they can make money off of it, they'll say anything they need to sell the product. Meanwhile, they're not guaranteed any pay at all for advertising, and the company's owner gets to keep more money than a regular retail business would. See, that's what I'm saying. Business owners choose the MLM business structure because it works for them. But anyway, he says his transition from billionaire CEO to network marketer caused some mental issues.
When I struggled with my mental health and mental wellness, why would I wish that on anyone else? Why would I want anyone to go through what I went through? When you're in the dark and you feel alone or you're not feeling well mentally, why, if you had solutions, why wouldn't you help someone else? And by helping someone else, that's the true gift. That's the payment, right? We're paying it forward and giving, reaching down and lifting someone up. And so I always thought, you know, why did I want to come out of retirement? Why did I want to invest, you know, $20-30 million into a business to help people with mental wellness? Because if you've been through it, then you understand. It's a gift. It's a reward to help others. And so if you can combine that into a business and a vehicle where people can earn an income and earn a living by helping others, when we would do that for free anyway, that's how you create a monster of a machine. Mental health and mental wellness is perfect for where we are at this time in the world. Going through the pandemic, almost 3 years, there's millions and billions of people that are feeling not themselves, feeling isolated, feeling effects of the pandemic. And so mental wellness is needed now more than ever. And so timing is everything in a business.
Are we surprised? It's wild. MLMs are well known for causing issues with mental wellness in more ways than one. So he made an MLM essentially trying to cure the very thing he's creating. Maybe it's kind of genius, actually. Maybe his idea was that it would create a never-ending loop of income for him. Create mental health issues by manipulating people into joining your pyramid scheme, sell them products that make them believe they're actually helping their mental health, and then when they get down on themselves and start doubting themselves because, well, MLMs only work when the bottom of the pyramid is losing money, they'll buy more product to fix their negative thoughts. Okay, yeah, so whatever. I guess Hiep Tran is an evil genius. I guess you don't become a billionaire without having a greedy evil side. Or maybe that's just what makes him up as a human entirely. I don't know. I don't know the guy and I don't care. But sir, you're helping the top 1% and financially and socially and emotionally harming the rest of your sales force. It's really messed up when you look at it that way. And if you really wanted to help people with a mental wellness company, why did you have to make it an MLM? It's like mixing oil and water. They don't mix. It doesn't make sense. That's really all the interesting stuff I could dig up on the owner. There are hours and hours of interviews you can watch on YouTube, plus a few training Zoom calls where he acts with kindness, understanding, and meaningful leadership.
You have to be like a punching bag. Get used to it.
Another person that I want to spotlight in this video is Amare's CEO, Jared Turner. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because for over 8 years, he was the president of Young Living. He worked at law offices for 8 years. He was an attorney for 6 of those years, and then was hired on with Young Living in 2012. Gary Young, Young Living's founder, died in May 2018. Jared became the president in January 2018. He was the chief operating officer for 4 years before that, so it's pretty evident that he was very close to Gary Young. According to a press release on Young Living's website, he has been a driving force in growing Young Living to $1 billion business by increasing revenue by over 800% over the last 5 years. He will continue to work closely with the company's founder and chairman of the board, D. Gary Young, and chief executive officer, Mary Young, to fulfill their vision of providing Young Living's pure essential oils to every home in the world. I demand perfection because our members deserve the best. And Jared is the trusted leader who has ridden the river beside me through the ups and downs of this essential oils journey. He has proven to be a successful and trusted leader and brings to this position a strong reputation for developing people and inspiring teams. He shares my love of people, natural health, adventure, and nature. Jared has proven himself and will carry my vision forward. And that reputation must have gotten him a hefty salary offer from Hiep Tran, and we all know that Hiep is rich enough to afford the best of the best. And this might just be a coincidence, but Jared Turner left Young Living in August 2020, and I feel like that's around the time Young Living started imploding. I found this Facebook post from a Young Living distributor when Jared announced his departure for the company, and I think it's kind of funny. First of all, Jared posted a statement to his Facebook. I've come to a point in my life where I feel it's time to dedicate more time to myself, my family, and to pursue some of my personal passions more wholeheartedly. If by dedicating more time to himself means becoming the CEO of another MLM soon after leaving Young Living, then he did a great job. The post also quotes one of their Royal Crown diamonds as saying, "Wait, I know. If you've been around for a few years, you might be freaking out. Sure, the timing isn't perfect with all that's going on, but hear this. This is the right decision for Jared, and Young Living will survive this. While many of us know and love Jared, he is not Young Living. Yes, he helped the company become a multi-billion-dollar company, and the very capable corporate staff that he hired will take that and run with it. Mary and Gary's mission to get oils into every home on this planet is Young Living. The 25 plus years of history of Gary and Mary are Young Living. We are Young Living. We are the ones that are sharing the products and empowering people." And history shows that that didn't really work out for them, did it? That's a whole lot of copium right there. This Facebook post also says that he stayed on the board of directors, although I don't see him mentioned on Young Living's website in this way. Basically, what I'm saying is Jared has a stellar reputation in the MLM corporate world, and Amare Global was able to bag him as the CEO. The one interesting thing that I did find about Jared Jared Turner is that he's named on 2 of the lawsuits filed against Young Living. 2 of many, might I add, but 2 nonetheless. One is a class action, claiming it's operating as an illegal pyramid scheme. The defendants on this lawsuit are Young Living as a business entity, the Young Living Foundation, which is Young Living's charitable organization, Mary Young, the current CEO of Young Living, Jared Turner, and Ben Riley. Ben Riley is the current president of Young Living. The last action taken on this lawsuit happened in June 2020 when the case was transferred from a district court in Texas to a district court in Utah. No further action has been taken on this case since then, including the closing of the case. So this leads me to believe that things are still pending there. They're probably still working on a settlement. The other lawsuit is part of the battle between doTERRA and Young Living in 2013, where Young Living tried to sue doTERRA for breach of contract and basically stealing company secrets, but they lost and they were ordered to pay doTERRA's court fees. This particular lawsuit must be the countersuit that doTERRA filed against Young Living because he's listed as a defendant. So Jared Turner has been sued twice during his involvement in Young Living, so I guess it's no surprise that he decided to bounce. And real quickly, one other person I want to point out is their chief scientific officer, Sean Talbot, and he oddly enough seems legit. Listen, when Hiep Tran says that he only wants the best of the best, I believe him, and I believe he has the power to obtain very experienced and accredited people because, well, money. Hiep has a lot of it. But usually with these MLM scientific advisors, I can pull up that they have some obsolete degree from a non-accredited school, or they're on the scientific team of some kind of naturopathy business, or they practice kind of woo-woo quack homeopathic stuff in their regular work, or they run around yelling about how vaccines are poisonous, but you should totally just chug essential oils to cure every single one of your ailments. Sean Talbot has none of that. Not that I could find anyway. He has a dual bachelor's degree in sports medicine and fitness management from Marietta College, a master's degree in exercise science from the University of Massachusetts, and a PhD in nutritional biochemistry from Rutgers University. All 3 are legitimate accredited schools. He also has some degrees in business and entrepreneurship, so I guess that kind of experience looks nice to an MLM. I've watched plenty of videos of this guy speaking, and he never really says anything outright quacky. He did coin the term gut-brain axis and gut-brain connection though, which Amare has posted all over their website. Usually when people use the word gut, I want to immediately shut them off. All the MLM scammers and companies like Arbonne, Herbalife, Plexus, other similar MLMs are overflowing with white ladies in big dumb hats shouting about leaky gut syndrome or gut health, and then they'll attach some wacky claims along with it, and then they recommend their product to help fix everything wrong with you because everything wrong with you started in the gut. These scammers generally don't know what they're talking about, and gastroenterologists are reluctant to recommend the products these people push since they're not regulated by the FDA because they're all supplements. However, as woo-woo of a reputation the term gut health has, it actually is a legitimate field of study. Most respectable medical researchers and professionals would say that our understanding of how our gut interacts with the rest of our body is not well understood yet. According to Dr. Rizwana Chowdhury, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, an assistant professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine, the gut is linked to the immune system and heart health, and emerging research is examining the link between gut flora and neurological disorders like Parkinson's disease. So yes, there seems to be a link between the gut and the brain, but the research is in its infancy stage, and much of the gut health marketing out there is based on little actual scientific evidence. As far as the gut-brain connection goes, though, there actually is science emerging that suggests that there is a connection, but it does require a ton more research. Anyway, Dr. Talbot's website contains a lot of articles and blog posts talking about medical science and actually citing sources of what he's talking about. It's wild! While I realize that just one study showing something as a result can't just be taken as fact in order for something to be scientifically accurate and sound according to the scientific method, those results need to be able to be replicated. But at least this dude isn't just pulling absolute quack science out of thin air. There haven't been any news articles posted to his website since July 2019 though. Since he signed on with Amare, he's made a ton of media and podcast appearances talking almost exclusively about this gut-brain connection. Like he was on the Dr. Oz show. But with Dr. Talbot, it seems like he's really dedicated himself to this research, and he has a PhD in nutritional biochemistry, and he really actually sounds knowledgeable about the subject. Quite frankly, out of any MLM I've researched, this guy is the most legit I've seen. I also have no medical knowledge and experience, so I can't really speak on most of this, but I do think that Hiep Tran did snag the best of the best for this role in his company. And he seems to be doing his job exceptionally well from what I've observed. There are obviously other people on Amare's corporate staff featured on their website, but these are the three I found to be most significant. And now that we've been introduced to them, I think we can talk about Amare's products now. Practically all of the products focus on Dr. Albert's gut-brain axis. Their products fall into multiple categories: sexual wellness, personal care, mental fitness, confidence in weight, gut health, essential nutrition, kids and teens, launch packs, which are the starter kits, and gear, so like merchandise. Looking at what the website has to say about each individual product, each one makes a lot of claims. For example, for the low price of $155.95 or 10% off if you get it on an auto ship, you can get the Amare Happy Hormones Pack, which contains 3 whole supplements. Wow! It contains Amare Ignite, which is their all-natural sexual wellness supplement. The description says, with clinically studied ingredients that maintains healthy sexual desire and supports healthy hormone balance. Now they have one for him and one for her, each with different ingredients that they say are clinically validated, not proven, so I'm not sure if that makes much of a difference or if they specifically opted to use the word they chose. They have these long info sheets with a ton of studies referenced. For example, one of the other products in this particular pack, called Mood Plus, there's an entire 22-page long info sheet, and they filled it up with scientific references and studies. Now, I'm no medical or scientific professional, so I don't always know how to interpret these studies, and maybe I'm interpreting them wrong, but the first one listed on here, the very first one, is a study on one of the product's ingredients called Zembrin, and it was a study done on rats, not humans. Actually, multiple of the studies listed on this 22-page long info sheet are studies done on rats. And while I recognize that testing on animals can often give us clues about the way the ingredients would affect humans, I also recognize that rats and humans have distinct differences and do not always reflect similar effects to the same ingredient. Anyway, if you don't like reading about animal testing, don't read this particular study. The testing method made me sad and it's pretty upsetting. Some of the studies mentioned only show the abstract and not the actual details about the study, but I guess you could go look all of that up for yourself if you wanted to. The studies referenced all appear to be testing individual ingredients in the Mood Plus supplement and not the actual supplement itself, so take that for what you will. Again, I don't know how to interpret most of this stuff, and I'm not going to pretend that I can. This particular info sheet is linked in the description, so if you want to take a look, it's right there for you. And then the third product in the Happy Hormones pack is called GBX Fit. GBX stands for the gut-brain axis. It's like a weight loss and gut health supplement, I guess. It has a 17-page long info sheet with clinical studies listed on it. They have a pack for skincare called the Dermabiotics pack that has a plant-based regenerating serum and a plant-based collagen boosting spray. The serum says it can balance the skin microbiome, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently it is. And the collagen boosting spray is actually an oral spray that supposedly causes your gut to create collagen building blocks, contributing to overall skin health, I guess. Something about that part in particular seems a little quacky to me, but then again, I'm an idiot and I don't know anything about this. I could make this video be 5 hours long by going through details of all of the products. They have a lot of products, and many of them have info sheets and data sheets. In the end, I don't really care because honestly, it goes back to Hiep Tran saying that he wants the best of the best ingredients, and with how many studies they cite on their website, I feel like there's a decent amount of transparency there. I also feel like this company falls in line with most other MLMs. The products are fine, they're just way overhyped and way overpriced. The best example of this claim from my part is that I found their energy drink, and hold on fellas, you're about to poop your pants when you hear this. A 12 pack of their GBX Pep energy drink costs $88.95. Yup, unbelievable. Like, that's actually insane. But as I mentioned before, they have a subscribe and save thing where you can save 10%, but like, it's still $80 for 12 energy drinks. That's over $6.50 per can at the discounted price, let alone if you buy it at the retail price. Their line of kids products in and of themselves don't actually bother me too much. The ingredients seem pretty basic, like they have a scoopable powder drink thing called Kids Fundamentals, fundamentals that has prebiotics and probiotics that come from like Asian apples and ginger root and stuff. Do I necessarily think, in my extremely unprofessional opinion, that this is unsafe for kids to ingest? No, I really don't, unless I'm really missing something here. But I always get the ick when health and wellness MLMs come out with a kids line of proprietary blends of stuff, because a 30-day supply of this one product costs $70.95, so it's overpriced as hell, and b, kids don't necessarily need all of this. It seems more like hype than anything, but even if it's not, even if it's the most nutrient dense stuff on the planet, that price is just unjustifiable to me. So I feel like MLMs that do this are exceptionally predatory to mothers with children. Calling this stuff fundamentals makes it sound like this is the bare minimum that your child is going to need to be healthy. As a parent, that's scary. We always want what's best for our children, but come on. A healthy diet and lifestyle has gotten us by for centuries, or even millennia. Shit. Like, take a Flintstones vitamin and go play, you know? I don't know. I just feel like they're seriously profiting off of parents who are kind of almost fear-mongered into spending such a ridiculous amount of money on an unnecessary product, if that makes sense. And just to add, their kids multivitamin is a 60-day supply for $38.95, which isn't as steep as some of the other products we see with Amare, but it's still pretty expensive for just a multivitamin. So to conclude on the product section of this video, do I think that their products are quacky woo-woo fake science that isn't doing anything for you? No. And quite honestly, out of every MLM I've researched, Amare seems to be the most transparent about the ingredients that they claim to use and why they were formulated the way they were and all of that. Are the products overpriced? Oh yeah, you betcha. Like, extremely. Just about every MLM is overpriced, but this one is very close to the top of the imaginary MLM price ranking list that I just made up in my head. And I don't think that everybody needs to be taking all these products, or even like multiple of these products. But I get the feeling that distributors and customers of Amare are constantly made to believe that they need a lot, if not all of these products to be healthy. They're likely spending hundreds of dollars per month on this stuff, which brings me to the real problem with Amare. If the products don't suck, then oh my god, why do you care, Savannah? Oh my god! Because it's not about the products. No MLM is ever about the products. Many MLMs don't even objectively have problems with their products, in my opinion, as long as they're used responsibly, of course. I'm not here to talk down on Amare's products, but I will gladly rip them a new one when it comes to the MLM business structure. On Amare's sign-up page, it says, "What does it mean to be an Amare partner? Help others achieve overall wellness through our holistic, natural, and effective solutions, plus gain financial wellness and exclusive rewards along the way just by sharing your Amare experience." Gain financial wellness? Is that a guarantee? I don't think that's something you can guarantee, man. See, this is the huge problem with MLMs. Not only do the reps run around screaming about financial freedom all the time, but some MLMs enable it with little things like this. Their website boasts about their onboarding program, which most MLMs claim to have. I myself have been in 2 MLMs, and the training, quote unquote, experience that I've had was bullshit. I got in there, read some documents, still had no idea what I was doing. I've never actually heard of an MLM having a legitimate onboarding training experience like you would at a real job. Amare could be different, but I doubt it. They all say they'll give you all this training and crap, but it's usually a big fat nothing burger. So what does it take to sign up anyway? Well, my curious little friend, I'll tell you. Brand partner membership, which is basically just access to their back office materials and your own landing page and code so people can shop with you online or sign up with you online, is nearly $70. However, you can have part of that or all of that fee waived if you buy a starter kit, or a starter pack is what they call them. They have 3 of those. The cheapest is $264.95, and when you join with that kit, you only pay $35 for your membership fee. Wow! I mean, you also get a $40 product credit, but like, that'll hardly buy you shit. This kit includes 7 of their best-selling products, so I mean, at least you get a decent amount of products with that $265. And then the middle pack runs for just shy of $500. And finally, the big kahuna, which will also get your entire membership fee waived, is a hefty $749.95. These starter kits are definitely on the higher end of the price scale of MLM product kits. When it comes to MLM compensation plans, I've read through a lot of them. Amare is just as confusing and convoluted as the rest. Pretty hard to comprehend, lots of terminology and numbers and formulas and all that. It's a lot. So I'm really just gonna focus on the first few ranks and the way that a large majority of people in Amare make their money. I can immediately show you why too. If you take a look at the income disclosure statement, which they do actually have, many MLMs aren't transparent enough to provide this, but Amare does, you'll see that the average monthly income is $71.47. If you only look at the members who meet the monthly requirement to remain active, which is 100 PV, personal volume, the average income is $538.61. PV in Amare is personal volume, and it's made up of not only sales that you make to customers, but also purchases that you make yourself. Now, I'm not really sure if PV is dollar for dollar, or if certain items have specified PV amounts assigned to them, but for the sake of argument, let's assume it's dollar for dollar. So in order to be active in Amare, meaning you're qualified for bonuses, you have to have 100 PV for the month. Quite frankly, if it's dollar for dollar, you may only need to make 1 or 2 sales per month to make that. But what happens if you don't? While making 2 sales may seem easy, when you take into consideration how incredibly overpriced Amare's products are, it's not going to be as easy as it seems, and it's not going to be as easy as your upline wants you to believe it is. Most average people are not going to opt into spending hundreds of dollars per month on supplements, so good luck with that. But let's say that you have a team, and that team has generated a $25 bonus for you. In order to claim that, you have to be active. So you may feel obligated to make that 100 PV purchase yourself. If not, you're kind of just leaving money on the table. This gets people into trouble with MLMs pretty easily and contributes to inventory loading, which is basically like when you see those LuLaRoe ladies with garages full of ugly leggings that they can't sell. Yeah, that's not something you want to get caught up in, especially with consumable products with an expiration date. And if you join as a member, be prepared to be pressured into making that purchase every month anyway. Your upline will refer to it as investing in your business. What it's really doing is making you a customer who thinks they're running a business. And guess what? Your upline makes a percentage of your volume every month too. Whether you sold it to a customer or purchased it for yourself, your upline is getting 5%, and their upline is getting 5%, and so is their upline, and so is their upline, and then their upline will make 4%. You get the point, and you see the chart. Yeah, it pays 10 levels deep. Is that generous? I guess. Not every MLM pays 10 whole levels deep. Some of them only do like 3 or 5. What's the likelihood that you'll build an organization 10 levels deep though? I mean, it's extremely unlikely. So in the meantime, all of that monthly investing you're doing is simply lining your upline's pockets. Anyway, 86.35% of Amare distributors, they call them members, never make it past the first rank with an average monthly compensation of only $25.04. This likely means that a good majority of those people are making less than $25, with a few super sellers at the top that are skewing the average higher. That's why I like it when income disclosure statements include the median alongside the average, because I think that number paints a much more realistic picture than the average does. But Amare's income disclosure statement doesn't grant us that, so we can really only guess. But yeah, so to make it to the second rank, you have to have recruited 1 brand partner. So the 86% of people who never leave that first level never even got a single recruit. And that should tell you something about how hard it is to build an organization with 86% of people that can't even recruit 1 person. And trust me, it's hard to do. The second rank makes up only 5.7% of the company, and the amount just continues to dwindle from there. I'd say the rank you need to reach to make a livable wage in today's society is probably platinum, making an average of about $3,100 a month. That rank makes up barely 1/10% of the company. Making the big bucks is even more impossible. The top ranks are interesting actually. The second from the top has less members than there is at the top rank. Both of those ranks combined makes up 0.04% of the entire company. There's another chart on the income disclosure statement here that shows that 58.8% of people in Amare are making between 1 cent and $200 per month, with an average of $48.27. Again, the median would be a much more interesting number to see and much more realistic. Most of those 58.8% of people aren't making $48 a month, trust me. 21% of the company is making between $201 and $500 per month, month, and nearly 16% of people in Amare are making between $501 and $2,000 per month. This means that 95% of people are making less than $2,000 a month with Amare, with a super majority of those making significantly less than that. You have about a 4% chance to make an even sort of livable wage with Amare. But one other thing to consider is that all of these numbers don't even include what they spent on their quote-unquote business that month. Less than 60% of people are making enough to cover the purchase of one product per month. And you're gonna have to use more than just one product per month, because if you want people to join you, you gotta get into attraction marketing, babe. How are you gonna attract people to either buy what you're selling or even join you in selling those overpriced products? You need to get them yourself. You need to use them. You have to be consistently and constantly spouting off your testimonials all over social media. If you've never used the product, how can you recommend them to people? People who trust you enough to make a purchase with you are only going to want to buy what you've had a personal experience with. And the pressure to be this way is almost always intense. Your upline will be hounding you because that's how they make their money. They make their money when you buy stuff. So for example, let's say you're making that $48 per month. Maybe you only want to be a daily user of their protein powder. Well, a 15-day supply, if you only drink one shake per day, is $38.95 on auto ship. You gotta buy 2 of those per month if you want 1 shake per day, and that will cost you $77.90 per month. So just using their protein powder alone puts your profits in the red. But it gets worse. What if, for example, you want to specifically focus on heart health? You can definitely take Heart, which that's $74.95 for a 15-day supply. Gotta buy that twice per month, meaning you're spending $150 per month on one product. Nearly $230 per month if you want to add on a month's supply of the protein powder. I mean, honestly, this is highway robbery. You can't sit there, Hiep Tran, and say that you don't care about the money and you're just in this to help people with prices like that. He has to be raking in a fat check from this. In my opinion, it doesn't matter how rich you are already. If you start an MLM, you're doing it for the money, period. Especially a business centered around mental wellness. Are we all seeing the absolute hypocrisy here? Don't we all see the potential for thousands of people to invest hundreds of dollars per month into this company and never make it to a place where their paycheck is paying for the products that they use? I mean, it's just ridiculous and sad. One thing Amare likes to brag about, which honestly, I don't think I've ever seen an MLM do this, but there are 3 ranks when you get a guaranteed minimum monthly paycheck of at least $1,000, $2,000, or $2,500. As cool as that sounds, what's the chance of you making it to those ranks? Well, only 0.65% of people are at the rank where they're guaranteed $1,000 a month. Not only is that not a livable wage, but you have a less than 1% chance of making it to that point. Obviously, your chances of making it to gold and platinum are even lower than that, and the amount you're guaranteed at that rank isn't a livable wage for most people either. Now, I believe this bonus is in addition to your regular commissions and like team bonuses and stuff. I couldn't really find clarification on that. Oh, and you have to requalify at your rank every month in order to maintain this bonus. If you're silver one month but then can't hit it the following month, you don't get that bonus. Oh, and you can only claim that bonus for a maximum of 6 months too, so don't get too comfortable. Okay, so obviously there are a few more bonuses that Amare's compensation plan offers, but I'm not going to go over them because, as you've seen, it's extremely unlikely that you'll make it out of the first rank, let alone to a rank where you're qualifying for vacations and cars and stuff, and quite frankly, I'm not making this video for those people. The last thing I will touch on, though, is their affiliate program. Yeah, they have a legitimate affiliate program, but you have to have at least 15,000 followers on any given social media platform to be able to sign up for that, which isn't really an easy size audience to build. So most of the population doesn't even qualify for their affiliate program. But hey, let's say that you do. You can literally not build a team and just get paid for what you sell. The amount of commissions you make is based on the customer volume you accrue. You may be asking why you can't just do that. If the unethical part of MLMs is the recruiting, then why is it still a bad idea if I don't recruit? Because as I said in the beginning of this video, you are still financially supporting an unethical business. Let's call it a form of consumer awareness, if you will. Some people only support vegan companies. Some people refuse to support companies that test on animals. It's basically the same thing. Don't contribute to a company that preys on the vulnerabilities, health concerns, and financial situations of others. It sucks, and you should find an alternative affiliate program to join. There are plenty of options, I swear. And all of that concludes this deep dive into Amare Global. I hope you learned something here, and I hope I could teach you something, or at the very least, just provide some entertainment for you. Long story short, probably don't join Amare Global, and probably don't even buy from them. Their products are probably fine, but again, you're paying way more than they're worth. I would just stay far away. There are plenty of dupes for products like this. I mean, they say that they're the only ones who have this gut-brain axis thing, but there's really not enough science on the whole gut health thing going on here. So not that it's like unsafe to take these products or anything, I definitely wouldn't say that, but to me it just seems overhyped, generally unnecessary, and supportive of a predatory business model. Anyway, let's thank my patrons and my YouTube members. Guys, the list of people I'm about to read off are my financial supporters. They get access to things like our private Discord server. We have a postcard club. Sometimes they get early access to videos, and sometimes even more than that. So if any of that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/Savannah Marie, or you can click the join button beneath this video to join my YouTube memberships. Whatever platform works for you works for me just fine. And with that, the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Hula Chowdown, Janelle Pratt, Amanda Shannon, Christy Taylor, Elizabeth Wyatt, Eve Blondo, Nitty Dragon, Leanne, Meredith Nakata, Ryamu, Sheila Tapia, Alice W., Boris Geller, Caroline Reed, Casey Scraper, Daniel Urena, Hannah Morrison, Animal Crossing, Heidi Ha, Kim Cartwright, Maddie Darley, Marley Fletcher, Ray, Tuesday the 13th, Carrie K, Vegan Chicky Nuggy, Love to Be Evil, Mira S.I.K., Lily Balcha, Natalie Scott, Carol Jenks, Colin F., The Best Elephant, Jessica Billhart, Laura Jensen, Mitchie84, Jess Kronfeld, Emion, Auntie Lou, Little Birdie, and Fallon Lowry, and to the rest of my financial supporters, thank you so much for being here and being you. And even if you're not a financial supporter, thank you for making it to the end of this video. YouTube loves watch time, and I work really hard on these deep dives, so thank you for being here. Keep making waves, babes, and I'll smell you all later. Mommy Tsunami out.